Welcome everybody to another episode of Our Adventures
in Middle-Earth.
That's right. Number 11.
11.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
2 number ones.
2 number ones.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like that positive outlook.
It's like we're starting all over again.
So how's your last couple weeks been?
Cold.
It's been, what, 3 weeks since the last one?
I think so.
Something like that.
It was,
yeah,
it was a week before we went to... Was it the week before? Or
2 weeks ago was the GT.
So it was the week before the GT.
Yeah, so we're 3 weeks.
It was that week in between Hooded Goblin and the GT.
That's right.
That.
That is right.
Because we talked about...
So did you pick up your new book?
I did.
Gondor at War?
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
And the 3 Hunters. And the 300 dice.
Oh, you got the dice?
Yeah, they're awesome.
I didn't get the dice.
Yeah, they got like the 6 is a symbol with axe, bow, and anduril, or however you pronounce your Born sword. It's pretty cool.
All right. Did you get the General's pack?
No.
No. Okay. Well, you're going to the tournament tomorrow at the Hooded Goblin.
Yeah.
I checked with Cody already, and he did get some in.
Okay.
So can you pick me one up?
Probably.
Maybe
if they're not already sold out. I was thinking about getting one too.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the little mini mission cards.
I'm not buying it for the counters.
No,
just
get out of here. Those are.
Just saying.
I'm gonna throw those out. I'm just gonna throw them in the garbage. No, I'm kidding.
Because Garrett makes counters.
I'll look at them to see what designs I can make better, stronger, faster.
Right on.
More.
So
resilient.
enough. We're not going to talk about Gondor at War today because we got a lot to talk about.
And everybody else has talked.
Yeah, I mean that was the most shocking thing I think that for me, anyways, for Gondor at War was just over the last couple of years how many YouTube channels have sprung up that are talking about Middle-Earth strategy battle game now. I think within like 2 or 3 days of the book coming out, there were 5 review shows on it. Yeah. On different YouTube channels.
We need Games Workshop to send us one so we can review it before everybody
We need
else.
A pre-release, man.
Preview copy.
Preview copy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
We're on episode 11. Like, we're totally legit. Send us free stuff.
We got shirts and everything.
I'm wearing an Oxford University, whatever.
Come on.
Yeah, it was good. I like the stuff that's in it.
Yeah, a lot of new
It'll be fun to talk about it. My Army of the Year is coming from that book, so...
Yeah, which we'll talk about a little bit now in our next segment, which we hope is going to be a regular thing, at least for this year. Yeah. And it is...
That's a bingo!
That's a bingo! Hobby bingo!
Hobby bingo!
So we got our hobby bingo sheet here, and it's probably can't really see it because of the reflection, but I will put this up on the screen while we talk about it.
Take a picture?
Yeah. So we've got a bunch of things. So I think we have the same number of X's. What is it, 6 each? Yeah. Yeah. Not all the same. So we'll go over this every episode just as a fun thing to do.
We'll come up with, we'll just say with the ones that we've
the new ones we've done.
And maybe one you're aiming to get done for the next time.
Yeah, yeah. So like you start naming some off and then I'll name some off that we've done.
So across the first line, none of us have really, well, I haven't painted any new models this year. Mm-hmm. And basically the first line is all paint stuff. Yeah. So none of that's happened. We both did enter a Middle-Earth gaming event.
We did. We've been in 2.
2 of them, yeah.
2 already.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah, you'll be in your 3rd one tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully. The weather doesn't...
So that gave us both 1. And then on the second row, I got 1, which was to...
That's me, not you.
Or that's you, sorry, yeah.
I converted a model.
Yeah. Which model?
Gimli.
Out of the new 3 Hunters.
Yeah.
What was the conversion?
His axe that he's running with,
mm-hmm.
I changed the head of it with the one that's over his back.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so he's wielding the big 2-headed axe instead of the single-handed.
So like they said, a simple head swap will suffice.
Yeah, exactly.
But you did, it's an axe head.
Yeah. Well,
I guess that counts.
But yeah,
weapon swap, head swap. The next row, we both got the middle one because we both play with armies.
That have finished bases.
With finished bases, yeah. It's.
I don't think we've ever played without painted models. maybe not completely finished, but
painting with unpainted models is kind of a no-no in our immediate circle.
yeah.
Yeah. On the next row, finish a model that has been in your to-do pile for over a year, and I did one. I painted a couple of models getting ready for our last installment of the Search for the Stone Battle Companies episode.
Yeah.
And one of them that I've had for a very long time was Madrill or Madrill. So I managed to knock that one off.
Yep. We both played against a new opponent we've never played against.
Yeah, and for me it was at the Hooded Goblin tournament.
Same.
I played against 3 guys that I had never played against because they were all locals to the Georgetown area there. So
yeah, I think Justin was the guy I played, and I think played him as well.
yeah, you got my little sheet here.
That's
oh no, that's the other tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another one was, I played Justin, and Jonathan was another one. He came to the Grand Tournament, and I've forgotten the last fellow's name off the top of my head. So we both got that one. Build and paint a new model for one of your armies. And so again, for me, when I painted the 2 models, I painted Boromir.
So Boromir was...
So I have a Minas Tirith army, so...
Yeah.
I painted Boromir,
cool.
which I've had for a little while. And then play a game using an army you have never used before. So at the GT, I played an army consisting of the army of Thror and Dale, neither of which I've ever played before.
So it's like a dual...
So it's a double whammy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Create cool scenic bases for one of your armies. Well, one of the projects I'm working on this year is now named Return of the King.
Return of the King.
Well, I'm doing the Legendary Legion Return of the King.
Yeah.
That's what I'm aiming for. So I've made cool, awesome bases for my entire army.
With the skulls from the GW skull
and some of
kit
their basing material paint, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have been waiting for the weather to improve so that I can start airbrushing. So I don't want to, like, when it's minus 20 outside, I don't really want to open my window to vent out the...
It's rough on the model priming
in
Canada at this time of year, because it's like...
So we've got a few warm days coming up.
Yeah. So get all your models ready to be primed to run outside. It's going to be like +7 in like a day or 2.
Crazy. And then I'm starting a new army, which is the one I just mentioned.
Yeah, and you've assembled models and...
Yeah, they're all ready to go. I just have to start painting.
Okay, I'll put this back here. Keep that there for next time.
And we'll have to come up with...
No bingos yet.
No bingos.
But we're going to fill a card. Let's be honest.
Oh, did you have any on here that you're probably going to aim to do for the next
well,
one?
I mean, there's a couple on there. Well, there's numerous ones on there that you can't really knock off in an afternoon.
No.
Like watch the Hobbit trilogy, watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy, read one of the books, or play all of the match play scenarios. So, you know, I think we wrote down already what match play scenarios we've played out of the 12, and it's approximately half of them, I think.
Because we played 8.
We played 8 in 2 tournaments, but there were a couple of repeats.
Crossovers, yeah.
But we have them written down, but those will take a little while to knock off.
Well, I think, hopefully, if all goes well, I should have finished a good army of at least 600 points by the next time.
Well, for me, the army that I took to the GT, I had to borrow one of your models.
Yes.
And as soon as I paint my own version of Thror, my 600 point army will be done, most of which was painted this year.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right.
Yeah, so...
So did you fix Thror?
Yeah, what a guy. Okay, you can borrow my model, just don't break his sword. And he went all day.
So we talked about it last time, because like Thror's sword is like one of the thinnest little piddly things on any fine cast model you're ever going to see.
Yeah.
And I was so careful for the entire tournament, and got through the entire tournament, and on the very last game, the game was over, right? And my opponent leaned over to pass models to me, and just touched the top of the sword, and boing!
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, no!
Honestly, I've been waiting for it to happen, because you know it's gonna.
Yeah. Did you just glue it back?
I glued it back on, yeah. And I put a little bit of paint on it, so it's okay. Like, in the long term, I'm probably going to have to convert it with a different sword.
Yeah.
But
because
it's like, I was reading a post on the GBHL, and like someone was written a post about how flimsy the sword is on some of the models, and I'm like, yeah, it's like probably the worst thing, because the sword is completely solid except for the part that touches the hilt. Mm-hmm. And it's two tiny little prongs.
Yeah, and there's like a split in the sword.
Well, there's like I don't know, like a half circle cut out. I'm like,
yeah. How does it design it so that it'll break easy?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh,
it's crazy.
And it's already fine cast. So
yeah, I know.
Oh well, I'll have to convert it with something plastic.
It happens.
Yeah, but yeah, so I hope to have finish a good army of at least 600 points. The one that we both kind of laughed at was the buying a model and painted in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Of receiving it. That's going to be tough.
And people like Aaliyah on our group has already done it. She already painted. Well, I guess she painted one of the 3 hunters within 48 hours.
She painted Gimli and Legolas, but couldn't get.
Yeah, but I mean, she didn't even have to do 2. You only have to do 1. I mean, she did 2. Yeah, but she got all 3 of them painted, and they're amazing. She posted a picture on the OSBGL group, and it's incredible. So.
Yeah, I take forever to build my stuff because I got to remove all the mold lines.
Yeah.
If I was just like out of the box on the base, paint done, I could do it.
Yeah.
Probably in an hour, but I'm too particular with my stuff.
You are. I mean that. Oh yeah, you can't knock off 2. Like the same X painting the same model, or 2 different X's painting the same model. Yeah. So it's like you can't buy like what was the one up here, a different model version or whatever. Yeah. You can't buy a different version and paint it within 40 hours and knock off 2 X's.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I've already got Legolas painted and Gimli painted and Aragorn painted.
They foiled our plans.
Yeah.
Well, shall we move on to talk about the OSBGL 2018 Grand Tournament, which was actually held in January 2019, because that's what we do.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, we switched to January a few years ago because December is always just kind of chaotic for everybody, and it was affecting...
Too much holidays.
It was affecting turnout and whatever. Everybody's got all their stuff done by January, so...
Yeah, plus people get new models and stuff, so...
Turns out on the day that we ran it, which I forget the date exactly.
19th of January.
The 19th. Yeah, and there was like, everybody showed up there and it was fine weather-wise or whatever. And then the entire day we were there was like a wicked snowstorm the entire day.
Well, we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Because they had predicted it.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. The last GT we had, which was in January of 2018, there was a snowstorm blizzard that caused a bunch of people to not show up.
Yeah.
And it was the exact same thing. So it's like, maybe we should not have our GT in the winter months.
It's a Canadian thing. Come on.
Whatever.
You know, everybody came anyways.
We made it home
I think everyone got home fine. So.
Yeah, there's a couple people that didn't make it.
It was all right. So the GT this year was held in Oshawa, Ontario, and what was the name of the place?
Critical Hit Gaming Lounge.
Yeah. And what'd you think of it?
Good.
It was really good, eh?
It was very nice.
Yeah, it was a space devoted for gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a store. Like, he did have a little bit of product there. Yeah. But it's a big open space with a high vaulted ceiling.
It looked like you're
tons of game space.
Like, and there's a big fireplace that I don't know if it worked, but it looked like the inn of a
medieval.
Yeah, it could have been the Green Dragon Inn for all we know.
It was a little bit too big for that, I think. But yeah, it was nice. I liked it, and it was Dominic was the proprietor, I think, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
I think his name was Dominic. Yeah, nice guy.
Yeah, it was great. Lots of space.
So we had 36 people, I believe, which is a new record for us by 2.
We were aiming. I think there was 40 signed up, and then a couple people didn't make it.
Something like that, and I think we probably could have got 40 people in there, but I don't think we could get more than 40 in there.
No, it was tight.
Because it was full. It was quite full.
Yeah.
Not to a point where it was uncomfortable, but I just don't think we could fit more than that in there.
No. It was loud, too.
Yeah, and it was loud, yeah.
There was like a little back room with 2 tables, and my first game was in there, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then every other game was in the big hall, and by the end of the day, my throat was so sore.
Yeah, mine too. My third game was in the back hall, and it was just like, oh my god, this is like this is amazing. There's like a little private gaming lounge. Yeah. Everybody that was in there was like, and a couple of times like they issued just like a little software issue. They issued table assignments, and then like wait, we got to make some adjustments. And like when I was in the back there was a couple people got pulled out of there, and they're like, no, it's like so nice back here.
Yeah.
So that was funny. Yeah, that was good.
It's good.
So it was run by Ben Baklinski.
Yep.
Who's our league commissioner right now, and he had a couple of helpers with him.
The usual suspects.
The usual suspects, yeah.
Joseph Hanlon, and Father Justin Bertrand. They're usually the 3 that they're like the Drew, Don, and Garrett of the East Coast.
The Northeast, yeah.
The Northeast, yeah.
The 3 amigos.
Yeah.
So they did a fantastic job.
Oh, it was
they were so well prepared. It was ridiculous how well prepared they were. Right from like the little pieces of paper you get to write down who played who and what was the loss, win-loss. Right
big
down.
Computer screen.
Yeah, big computer
with,
screen.
With matchups, which everybody always seems to like walk in front of.
Yeah.
Like, hey, make a better door than a window.
And they made custom-made trophies, which
they did.
Yeah, Ben was posting pictures of.
And they painted them.
Yeah.
Like each one of them was done by one of them.
Yeah.
Like the 3 trophies, the 3 of them took a one and did.
Yeah, I thought Ben had done them all, but then I heard that Joseph, I think, painted the Boromir at the White Tower.
Yeah, and Father Justin painted the there's like 2 Galadrim elves.
Oh yeah.
He painted that one.
Okay, so they had numerous prizes for different things.
There's a bunch of different categories.
There was, yeah. And actually, Derek and Ronan did a video on the awards ceremony for that, which we'll link in the description to this on their channel. And they covered it really well by video, like they live videoed it. So I don't think we have to go into all of the secondary prizes, because if you want to see that, you can go and look at that video. It's really well done by them.
Yeah.
So let's just cover
just name them off.
What army did you bring first of all? Because I don't think we talked about that.
No, I left it up to people voting for it last time.
Yeah.
And until like
there was only a few votes.
A few days before, there was 2 votes, and it was for Army of Thor. So I was ready to take that, and then a bunch of people jumped in after I said, hey people, we need more votes. And 3 people voted for Serpent Horde.
Yeah.
So
well, I didn't want you to take Army of Thor because I wanted to bore your Thor model.
So there's a little bit of...
yeah, so I voted for the Serpent Horde. So did a couple other people.
I took it. I enjoy that army. I've played with it at 2 events this year. So it's one of those armies that it can be very good. Like I won games, and the problem is you don't win big. Yeah, it's very hard to win big with that list because your guys.
It's a dwarf thing. Yeah,
you're always broken by the end of the game, unless you completely stomp your opponent. My army was always broken.
Oh yeah.
Well, because my guys all have defense 3 and 4. So
Oh, we're talking about Serpent Horde.
Yeah,
sorry.
Serpent Horde. Sorry, yeah. Like I'm always broken. The Army of Thor, like it's hardly ever get broken with that, which is one of their strong things. But yeah, so it's always giving up points. So I never was able to get like I was, but you don't normally get like the high end wins. Like if you're going for point differential. So
well, you need an army with like incredible offensive output and maneuverability to get the 12 O's.
Yeah, which my army does have really good offensive output and mobility. Like I had Betrayer and Fell Beast, Suladan on Armored Horse with bow, 12 Watchers, which I switched to 2 swords over the bows before going to this one, which was actually beneficial to me. They do work really well. A bunch of Serpent Guard, Abrakan Merchant Guard, which are the 2-handed burly guys. Fatties we call them. And then I had 5 Serpent Riders. And those guys, they're good.
Cavalry.
Poison lances.
Yeah.
Now that I've played with cavalry that have lances, that stuff is just insane. It was good. So yeah, my army had mobility. It just didn't have the defense. It fell apart.
You know what they say on the Green Dragon, right?
Traps win games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Knocking something prone is trapping. So, cavalry win games. That's what it means.
Yeah, 4 dice.
Yeah.
Rerolling 1s to wound.
Yeah. Traps win games. # cavalry win games.
Yeah. That's true. Cavalry. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to play another army again that doesn't have cavalry in it.
So shall we talk about our games quickly?
Sure.
Again, no talking about I rolled a 6 and he rolled a 4, but we'll just go through them quickly. Game 1, storm the camp. So start in the diagonals, go across the table. My first opponent was somebody I'd never played before, Ryan Whitsitt. And he was playing Moria.
Oh, okay.
So with the Balrog, and it was the first time I've played the Balrog in the new rules, and in a very long time, and oh my god.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah, it's slow. That's its one thing. But basically, anything it fights, it pretty well kills it. Pretty much. You have to kind of assume. Unless you're throwing another one of the big nasties at it, which I didn't have in my army, which, by the way, I took the army of Thror allied with Dale.
Yeah.
So I had Thror and, I don't know, around 11 dwarves. And I had Girion and a captain with a great bow, and I had a captain with a shield and something around 27 warriors of Dale. And it ended up 3-0 for me because I broke him on the very last turn to the man. Or the goblin, I should say. So I killed the last goblin at the end of the last turn to break him to get the only victory points.
Wow.
3-0 for me.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it was very close.
Okay. I played Zach Fleming. It's funny, we're the only 2 guys playing with Serpent Horde, and we played each other the first game.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So it was crazy. So I'm like, hey, who's your leader? Suladan. Who's your leader? Suladan. But I had the older model, so mine was the one true king.
The true Suladan.
It was cool.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a tricky compel off and took out his, and then
took out his Suladan, the imposter.
Yeah, the imposter, and then it quickly turned for me, and because of cavalry, I ended up getting.
Did you storm his camp?
I did.
Yeah.
And I ended up winning 12-0.
Oh, really? Big win.
Yeah.
Big win.
Because I got his leader and into the camp and broke him.
We should back the truck up just a second here to talk about the league and the implications of the GT, because we did that the last. Okay. I think we talked about it in our last episode. So Andrew Brock has been leading the season for pretty well the whole season. Yep. And lo and behold, unfortunate to him, there was a death in his extended family, and he had to attend a funeral on that day and couldn't come to the GT. And that left only one person with the chance to just pip him out and take the league.
But they had to win.
But they had to, I think they had to come in 4th place or higher.
Oh, okay.
And it was Ronan.
Okay.
And Ronan has done incredibly well this year.
He has.
So coming in 4th place didn't seem like too much of a stretch for him. So we both played our first game, and Ronan, he got a really tough draw on the first draw, and he drew Will Schaff, who's a very strong player as well. And Will beat Ronan. I think it was a 12-0, but I could be wrong there. But anyways, it was a win for Will, and so Ronan lost. So that was a setback for him.
Yeah, no, it was 12-0.
Was it?
Yeah, because Will went like 3 of his wins, like his 3 wins were 12-0s.
And he had a very small army.
Yeah.
It was Radagast on sleigh and eagles, was it not?
Radagast on sleigh, 2 eagles, or 3 eagles. Maybe it was only 2. Maybe it was 3. And then he had a captain for Iron Hills on foot, and then a bunch of Iron Hills guys.
Like half a dozen guys.
Yeah, because I played the second game, he was beside me, and I'm like, man, your army is, that's your army? Like, it's tiny.
So he's got some guys on the ground to capture objectives, and the rest of the stuff flies around and doesn't die.
Yeah, and then you got Radagast to remove cavalry and all that.
So game 2, Lords of Battle.
Lords of Battle, yep.
Who'd you play?
I played Andrew Barbazan.
Captain Barboza.
Yeah. He was playing Moria.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not Moria, Mordor.
Uh-huh.
With the Witch King and Shelob.
I know, because I played him in the next game.
I absolutely hate Shelob.
Yeah.
She didn't make her points back.
You sound like me last year.
She didn't make her points back at all, but she is a pain to fight against.
Well, she didn't get touched in the new rules.
No.
She didn't get nerfed at all.
She got a better rule, actually, because she can paralyze people.
She, like, her profile, I should say, didn't get nerfed.
Yeah.
But the rules that she relied...
Hurl
yeah.
got nerfed.
Hurl.
But anyway, let's not talk about it, because
we're rambling.
Sour on that topic.
I'm not sour on it.
I am.
What, Hurl?
No, Shelob.
No, I'm over it.
I want to use mine, though. There was a small point where I thought about putting her in my Serpent Horde list.
Oh, yeah?
But I would have had to lose too many guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, she doesn't make her points back.
Or?
Yeah. She's still good, though.
She's very good.
For 90 points.
Not like she was, though.
No. Anyway, so we were playing Lords of Battle. It was very, I kill lots of your guys, you kill lots of my guys that game. And it ended up that I squeaked out a win. 4-3, I think it was. Because, or no, maybe it wasn't 4-3. I can't remember what
it was close and low
scoring. It was a 1 point difference. It was a 1 point differential. He almost killed my leader in the last combat of the game. But I made my 1 fate save on Suladan to not get him killed. But I broke him and then I had more kills than him because it was Lords of Battle.
Yeah, for my game I played Logan.
Okay.
I don't know Logan's last name. He's Lewis's friend. Nice guy. I've played him before. And he was playing Iron Hills.
Okay.
So, good mission for me.
Yeah.
Because I did have a fair bit of shooting in my army. And so I was able to like hang back and, you know, you start roughly 24 inches apart. And I was pouring a lot of bow fire into him, and he had a small army of Iron Hills. Because he had Dane on pig, he had Dwalin on foot, and I can't remember if he had a captain, and then just a whole bunch of guys. He did have a contingent of about 6 crossbows.
Okay.
But I was doing all right. Like, I needed 6s and 6x4s, I think, to do wounds on him. But I was actually killing like 1 or 2 guys a turn.
Okay.
And so like after 4 turns of that, he was like, you know, he'd lost like say 6 guys, and he started shuffling his guys around to bring his crossbowmen up, and then well, they're defense 6, so they were easier for me to kill, and so I started killing them quicker than he was killing me, and so it was just going bad for him. We did get into hand-to-hand combat, and Thror fought with Dane. Lost to combat. Dane didn't scratch him, and then I killed, or not Dane, sorry, Dwalin.
Dwalin, yeah.
And then I killed Dwalin, surrounded Dwalin on the next turn, killed him.
Oh, okay.
And he finally did get Dane into combat, but I had managed to take out his pig beforehand. So he was, you know, killing 2 guys a turn with Dane or whatever. And kind of the clock just ran out on him, sort of thing. And I managed to win that one 8-0. So we were both on 2 wins.
We were.
Yeah, so that was good. Game 3.
Clash by Moonlight.
The Clash by Moonlight.
Killing enemy heroes.
Yes, okay,
and making, the more important thing is making shooting very good.
Well, it's limited to 12-inch range, same as Magic, but you get +1 to wound.
Yeah, that played a big part in my game.
So you get kind of half as much shooting, but it's a lot more effective when you hit.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of concerned about because I was playing Andrew Barbazan, who you had just played.
He had no shooting.
And he had no shooting. I had a fair bit of shooting, and I'm like, oh god, I'd love to have a couple extra turns to fire at all those orcs.
Yeah. But you maybe get 1.
I think I got 2 rounds of shooting, and then on the last, on the engagement round, I got the charge. So I got my Grimhammer. Like I had 6 Grimhammers.
Throwing axes with pulse.
So I got the throwing axes in there. But he had, like we said, Shelob, and he also had the Witch King on Fellbeast. And for the first time, Shelob was afraid to move up on me because of Girion and the Great Bow.
Yeah.
So he had to sort of waste a couple of turns with Shelob and ended up bringing her right up the center of his army. And I think prior to engagement, like I killed 12 orcs, I think.
Oh.
So I took out like a whole warband worth of orcs because his army was the same size as my army. It was big,
a big army,
right?
Yeah.
But by the time we started fighting, I had a numbers advantage on him. And the new rules with Hurl, like I was actually able to deal with Shelob until like the last turn, I think, and she was killing stuff. But I was able to bring in. Like, I was able to determine where the Hurl would go.
Yeah. Because
he would get the charge and set up the Hurl. But then what I would do is, like, I would bring another guy in from another direction, like a sort of a useless direction for a Hurl. And that combat would then be broken off.
Oh, okay.
Right? And she would just hurl that guy into nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, or just kill him. But it was close. Like on the very last turn, he did manage to get Shelob and the Witch King on Thror, but didn't kill him.
Really?
No, he rolled terrible.
Yeah.
He did eventually put a wound on, but didn't manage to kill him.
Wow.
Because Thror is tough to hurt.
Defense 9. Yeah.
Yeah. And with the Arkenstone, it's like if you play it right, it's pretty good.
The only thing that really scares me when I play with him is Chill Soul.
Yeah, it's bad. And he transfixed Thror 2 turns in a row, so like he wasn't doing anything. But the thing with the army is that the army is big enough that my opponents just couldn't get to my leader.
Yeah.
So
you got a wall of dudes in the way.
Just there's too many people there.
Yep.
Right. So I managed to take that one. I think it was 8-2. And it was always good to play Andrew. Andrew and I.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He and I sort of go back and forth because you know, I think he had won our last 2 meetings, and you know I'd beaten him in the past, but the last 2 he had won, so it was kind of like.
Yeah, you got that rivalry between them.
So I won this one, so that was good for me to bring one back.
I played Adam Marcel.
Okay.
And
Thranduil's Halls?
He was playing Thranduil's Halls. He had Thranduil with like everything except for the horse. Because he took the elk instead. Legolas on horse. A couple cavalry. Some Mirkwood Rangers. Some elves, and then some Palace Guard. The typical Thranduil's Halls list.
So it's like a big cavalry charge, Nature's Wrath, and he's got what's that terror spell again?
Aura.
Aura of Dismay.
Yeah.
So you hit the enemy hard, knock them all down, kill everything, and then you're semi-immune to a counter charge because of Aura of Dismay.
I ended up, I sapped his will and got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part of the whole game is he set up this heroic combat off of one. I had done this on purpose to try and pull him into it. So I would move first, move one of my Serpent Riders into his line, thinking, okay, well, he's just going to get a whole bunch of guys to go around him and pull them into a position where my archery could fire at. And he goes over with Thranduil and he's like, okay, I'm going to charge this guy, but I'm going to move here first, and then I'm going to cast the Nature's Wrath with his hat for an automatic 6. And I'm like, ooh, that's going to be bad. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess it happens. And then like a light went off in my head, ding! And like, wait a minute. Watchers of Karn are magic resistant. Hold on here. I get a free die. So I was like, okay, here we go. Rolls it up. Got a 6. Stopped it. And I was like, woo! I was a little cocky about it. Yeah. But whatever. It stopped this like massive slaughter fest from happening.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever had them actually affect a spell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was cool.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one to stop too.
And then in the shooting phase, I fired into that combat with all his guys and my guy, and I killed my own guy. So no heroic combat for Thranduil.
The old evil trick of killing your own.
That's the one thing I love about playing evil, because you're like, oh, I'm gonna send this guy here. Your whole army's right there. Why would you do that? No particular reason. I did it at the home.
Because of course you draw it, the enemy looks at it like, oh my god, I'm going to leapfrog off that guy and jump into his army, and then you just shoot into the combat and hopefully kill some of his, and you hope to kill yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the whole throwing out the bait.
Oh yes, I'm well aware of it, having played Urkai for a few years.
It's the one reason why I'd prefer to play evil over good, because you can do stuff like that. It's a tricky little tactic.
It is a handy thing.
Yeah, it ended up that I ended up getting Thranduil. I killed him. I got a lucky turn where I had him surrounded and transfixed. And actually, no, he was at a might, and I struck up with Suladan with Heroic Strike and got higher, and then I killed him with all the wounds that I caused. But then the next turn, Legolas fired his like auto hit thing at my Betrayer. And rolled a 2 and hit the Betrayer within 12 inches. And then he only needs 5s by 3s to wound. And he rolled it and caused a wound. And I had no fate left. Yeah. Because I had previously used it on another attempt of trying to do that to him. So I lost a hero. He lost his leader, but I was broken. So he beat me because I was broken.
So it sounds like it was reasonably close, no?
It semi-close. I can't remember if he killed Suladan. I don't think he did. Yeah. But
that in my game, it was with Andrew. One of the things that gave me the game was that he had a couple of he had an orc captain and one of sort of the lower level orc heroes. Grishnak or one of
that guy has some crazy good rules.
Yeah, and I was able to kill both of those guys though, and so in that mission, like taking heroes like that, it's kind of a disadvantage because it's an easy way for your opponent to get a couple points.
Snag the kill, yeah.
Yeah. So
game 4.
So you were on 2 wins and a loss.
Yeah. And you were on 3
and I was on 3 wins.
I know.
Which is not somewhere where I'm used to being going into the last.
I remember messaging
game.
Drew. Yeah. Going into the last game, I was like, "Oh my God, Don's on 3 wins."
But like,
could this be it?
One of them, and like they were for tiebreakers. They made it known at the beginning that they were using what do you call it?
Point differential.
Point differential, victory point differential.
Yeah.
So when you won, like if I won 8-0, I would go +8. My opponent would go -8.
Yeah.
Right. On VP differential. So like I had you know, 3-0, 8-0, 8-2. So pretty good, but like low scoring. Like,
you weren't crushing them out of the
like
park.
a lot of some other guys were getting 12-0s.
Well, my first game was 12-0.
Yeah.
So.
But still, I played on the second table.
Yep.
Adam Marcel played on the top table against Jonathan, who I mentioned earlier, having played him at the Hooded Goblin, and he was playing Urukai.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a player of other GW games, but fairly new, I think, to Lord of the Rings. I could be wrong in saying that. And he was playing beside me, obviously. And I played Sean Trumbull, who I've played many times in the past. Great guy. He's been in the league since the beginning. And he's playing elves as usual. And he had... What was mission? Yeah, I didn't write it down.
It was...
It
Fog
was
of War.
Fog of War, yeah.
Yeah.
His army was very defensive.
Okay.
So not a great mission for his army. But the way his army works is to stay in a bubble. Because he had, what's the elf guy that, you know, the guy that's wearing the dress there?
Círdan or
Círdan or whatever.
Not Celeborn.
Yeah, so it's blinding light. Again, with I think Aura of Dismay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had Gilgalad as well.
Yeah.
On horse, and a few cavalry, and a whole bunch of archers, and of course his special ability is reroll misses. So basically, you're in this fortified bubble and
shooting
firing arrows.
It's like, there's like arrows coming out of that blind light.
So, but I've played against this army before.
Okay.
This is where like kind of tournament experience, I would say, sort of kicked in.
Yeah.
So I realized, well, I can't sit here and trade with them because I'll just lose.
Yeah.
But because of the mission, I picked a terrain objective like right in between me and his army on his side of the table. And I thought, well, I'm just going to charge right into combat with them, and on the way in, I'll run past the objective that I'm trying to get, and because I'm charging him and keeping him on his heel, he won't be able to get the terrain piece that he wants, because he'll be on the defensive. So that's what happened. And I'm not going to be able to remember what ended up happening here. In the end, it was 6-all. So, like, I can't remember. Like, I captured my terrain objective. He did not. I did not kill the guy I was trying to get because it was Círdan or whatever.
Sure.
He did kill the guy he was after because it was my Captain of Dale.
Okay.
You know, it was like that. And then...
Were either of you broken? You probably killed... No. You got your train piece.
Yeah.
Just 3. Did he get his?
No.
No. So you got 3 for that.
Yeah.
And then your guy that you picked to keep alive, was he alive?
Probably.
Okay, so there's your 6.
Yeah.
6, not 7.
Yeah.
And then if he killed the guy he was at... No. He killed the guy he was after?
Yes.
So that's 3. And then did he get his train piece?
No. Maybe he broke me. I forget.
Oh no, he would have had his guy that he picked to keep alive.
Yeah, because it was the same guy.
Yeah.
Because he only had 2 characters.
Okay,
his general and that other guy.
Yeah. That's like the, oh, you have 2 characters? Well, that's the guy you're trying to keep alive and I'm trying to kill, so it's double valuable for me to kill him.
So, going into the last game, odds were that one of us was going to come in second in the tournament.
Based on the victory points.
Yeah. And based on our placement. But the fact what always happens if you're playing on second table and you tie, you drop down and people pass you.
Yeah. That's the hope when you're on second table and the top table ties.
So anyways, I finished on 3 wins and a tie, and that was my game 4.
That's good. That's like one of the highest places you've been in
a while,
yeah. Which is good. Means you're slowly getting up there. Next turn will be a win.
That's right. Let's hope so. What about you?
I played Dominic, Ben's brother.
Beklinski.
Yeah. He was playing Rohan.
Yeah.
So close to
That's his...
It's his... He had a whole bunch of, guess what it is?
Throwing spears.
Yep, on Royal Guard.
Yeah. Well, he's gone out of his way to collect that army because you know, we don't see him a lot these days. You know, usually 1 or 2 tournaments a year now, and
Yeah.
you know, so you only play that often. Your army, you don't get tired of it. So
No. And he had Theoden with all of his kit up, and then Aomer with all his kit up. And Aomer is obviously the guy he was trying to keep alive. I was trying to kill. He had some mounted riders. But that was basically it. We fought in the middle. He had a whole line of guys ready to pitch throwing spears at my guys, and I compelled one of them forward and then charged like an entire war band of guys into that combat. So I had a whole bunch of guys surrounding him, spears support, so he went to throw, and I'm like, well, there's a combat in the way to throw at one of my guys, and I guess apparently the way that in the way works for shooting, it's different for FL Beast. So, I don't know.
In the way is dumb.
It is something that we both hate, but the way that it's worded is not the way that...
It was the biggest miss in the new edition. They didn't try anything to correct in the way, which is too bad, but
that caused a bit of a ripple in the game, which made us clash a little bit. I ended up charging up a little bit further. I had a couple guys off to the side of my betrayer, and he charged Theoden in, and didn't heroic combat, didn't heroic strike, didn't do anything, but my betrayer was like right there. He killed the guy who was fighting, and the one guy I was fighting, I'm like, okay, well, I win, I'll barge. And I went into Theoden, and he didn't survive. Yeah. So, he's like, what, you can do that? And I'm like, yep.
What, barge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, if it's something that you don't see done as much in you know, in sort of more casual games.
I was gonna fly up and go, here's my chance to cast Instill Fear that I had planned to do all tournament, right? Yeah. And I'm like, well, what's the point? Every one of his guys has bodyguard. Yeah. Onto Theoden, right? Yeah. So I was like, well, that's a waste. So I did that, killed Theoden, and then it was it ended up being it was a 9-0 victory for me. Because I killed his leader, but that was worth points. I can't remember. My guy stayed alive. His guy stayed alive because I didn't kill whatever his name is. Leader must have been points. Or breaking. It was actually broken. Okay. There's a one game I broke him, but he didn't break me. Right on. And it came down to the end of the game. Everybody was packing up, so tables got bumped. I had one of my riders touching a piece of terrain in the back corner that had just fought and killed his guy that was also touching that piece of terrain. So we were both touching it. I killed the guy that was him stopping me from claiming it. And we were adding up points, and we looked over, and my guy wasn't touching the terrain. I'm like, well, my guy was, and then he was dead set against me having it, so...
Doesn't matter. Touching doesn't count.
Doesn't?
No. Fully within the terrain piece. Oh. Is the rule.
Is it fully within?
Yep.
What happens if it's just like a little tiny thing?
Well, then it's up to the players to decide, but...
I think... Well, we must have decided that. But anyway, it was a bit of a you weren't and I was type situation. But you sorted it out. I still ended up winning the game. It was just a matter of the three.
It was a VP. It was a VP
which
thing.
I don't think... Like, it might have moved me down a spot, but whatever.
Minor thing in the
we weren't in the top tables.
yeah.
But anyway,
But you ended up with 3 wins and a loss, which is great. And
I lost to
Adam, who won the tournament.
So I'm okay with that. Yeah. My only loss was to the tournament winner.
Yeah. And backing the truck up again. Yeah. Game 2, Ronan, who was now hoping to go 3 wins and 1 loss. Yeah. Got a horrendous draw. So Ronan was taking, was it Mordor?
Yeah, he had Mordor.
Mordor, and he had 3 casters.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was, he had Mouth of Sauron,
Shadow Lord.
Yeah, and Witch King. Yeah. And he got drawn against JJ, who was playing Treant.
Oh, no way. Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
No, so, so Yeah, the Magic was really not going to be doing much in that game, and it didn't, and it got to the point.
Oh, because this whole army was...
It was also Lords of Battle. So talk about the worst possible draw, like worst possible army, worst possible mission.
Yeah.
And he lost. I don't know what the score was, but he lost. So he went the first 2 games, 2 losses, and that kind of killed his chances to come in the top, group of players.
He would have had to win the other 3.
So that was really too bad. That was really too bad for Ronan.
Yeah.
I mean, good for Drew because Drew wasn't able to make it, but too bad for Ronan. But that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess. And I believe he went on to win his last 2 games. I don't know who he ended up playing, but
yeah. So it was good. I had a great day.
It was really good.
The other thing was they made lunch right on site.
Yeah. They were overwhelmed with the number of people that were there, though, so it did take a while. Like, they were serving lunches over the course of, I think, 2 or 3 games.
I don't think they have, well, they might have big tournaments, but they have, like, other gaming systems run there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But, like, I don't know if they've had that many people in one place.
I'm not sure, but, I mean, I would really recommend that place. Critical Hit Gaming.
Yeah.
We should definitely go back there and run a tournament. Maybe not the Grand Tournament because I'm thinking we're gonna go over 40 next year.
We need to be looking at a bigger venue.
Yeah, that venue may be getting a bit small for us, but like any other tournament that we run during the year could go there, no problem.
I think the GT we had 3 years, like the second year GT.
Yeah.
Where it was in a Legion.
Michael Campbell ran it.
Yeah.
And it was 34 people.
The room and space that we had in that place was crazy.
It was good.
It was. I really like that place. That's the kind of thing where if we get bigger numbers, we're going to need something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's our mission now.
That was it.
That's our mission.
Get more than 30.
In our new, our handbook, if you read it.
Haven't yet.
Our mission statement is to have 50 players at a tournament by the end of 2020.
Nice. It'll be done.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean,
between either the GT or Adam and Blackfyre's tournament TGX, one of those is going to hit 50.
Yeah.
In the next couple of years.
Maybe it'll be Canadian Shire. Wait, no.
No.
I don't think we want to make 50 tables.
No.
Or no, 25 tables.
No.
Yeah, that's not happening.
We'll stay with the...
I'm good with the 10 tables.
Yeah. Okay, well, we already gave it away. Adam Marcel won.
Yeah.
He was the only player that went 4-0.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, there were 4 players? Or was
There's
it
a lot
5?
of you.
I think it was either 4 or 5
There was
players
4 of you.
That were on 3 wins and a draw.
Yeah, it was...
at 21 points, I think.
The next 2, like Will Shave came in second.
Yeah.
And then Derek Senek was in third.
Yeah.
And they tied their 3rd game because they were playing beside Adam and I.
Yeah.
So they both had a tie there, and then they went on to win their last games.
Yeah.
And you and...
I came in 4th.
Yeah.
And Sean Trumbull came in 5th.
And you guys both played each other.
Yeah, we had 3-1 records also. So so that was really odd to have that many people with that record at the top at the end. I don't think I've seen that before, but
yeah,
good for everybody that did well. That was good. I certainly did a lot better than I thought playing with that army. I didn't feel at all going into the tournament that it was competitive. And it ended up that it was good, and it was because of point denial.
Yep.
It was a really good point denial army. Killing or wounding Thror is hard as hell, especially when he's surrounded by that many guys. And with that many guys, it was a very difficult army to break. I didn't get broken once.
Yeah.
Right? I think Thror got wounded once, never got killed. So my opponents were having a hard time picking up VPs against me. That's basically what it was.
That's a good point. Like the Dale isn't really the best at surviving, but they bring the numbers to the table.
Yeah.
And shooting.
Well, the thing with them too is that like they have a really good selection of weapons, right? Mm-hmm. They got what you need: shield, spear, and actually S-Groth bow, which is an elf bow, right? And their army bonus is 3+ shoot. So they're light infantry, but they're fight 4. I mean, you need 6s to do anything on wounding because you got so much strength 3. That was the real big drawback to it.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't really need to kill a lot of stuff to win games.
Nope.
As long as you're winning as long as you're getting the mission objectives and not letting your opponent wreck your army.
Yeah.
So
They can just run up and shield too.
Yeah, well, I was doing it a lot.
Yeah, and then have your dwarves do the work.
Yeah, yeah.
The strength 4.
Like I really missed kind of having more dwarves with shield. I had 5 dwarves with shield, but with Roar's banner bonus around, it's like shielding is like so good. It's like shield, fight 4, and if you win, okay, well I'm defense 7, so you know you don't give up a lot of ground with that.
Shielding with a banner around is like having 3 dice.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's really good. So that was the GT. Any last words on the actual tournament?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh, did we're giving away the ticket to Articon.
Oh, yeah.
Did that ever get sorted? Well, obviously Adam won the ticket, but...
Yeah. So it'll be Adam's ticket to go to Articon, and if he can't go, it will go to the second place person.
Does it keep going down the list until somebody says I'm going?
I'm 4th in line to the throne.
I know, I'm 7th.
Yeah, so I don't know. Will, I think, went last year. He was one of the group of guys that
yeah.
went last year, so I'm not sure if he's going again this year. He may have already bought a ticket. I don't know. Derek, I think, was not planning on going this year and possibly planning on next year, so not sure if he would go. And not sure if I would go if I got the ticket either. So
yeah, I think I've talked with Drew, and it's possible we may make a return next year.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if you guys go back next year, then I'll come along with you guys, but
there we go.
We'll see.
The Canadian Shire will invade
see what happens.
London and England.
Yeah.
So do we want to talk about
the league? Yeah, because we also, at the end of it, while they were calculating the tournament results and all of that, like a few of us admin guys got up there and did our big spiel on the league and all of that.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was really good because we gave away our first, second, and third as usual. But this year we actually had some trophies to give out, which was not a first, but we haven't had them for a few other years. And we gave out 3 new awards this year as well, which we're going to carry over, and we're going to give those out every year. So we'll talk about those first. So we gave away Craftsman, Sportsmanship, and Ambassador. So Craftsman is going to be going to the league player who excels at like winning best painted, best display base, best army, whatever you call the category, because it's never the same.
Sure.
And that one there, we actually had results from tournaments to look at for those prizes. And based on those results, again, this being the first year we gave that out, that's what we decided to base it on. Derek Satnick won it.
Yeah.
So, and he had, I think he had won like 4 times, and you know, he's done a lot of work on bringing an impressive looking army. Display board, army's fully painted, includes conversions. So he really put out like a solid effort over the course of the whole year to focus on a couple of armies. Like he did it last year too. You remember he had his elves and Treebeard, and he has a display base for it, and he did it up all nice. And then this year it was Angmar, which is what he had. So he paints them all up with his ice sort of scheme, I guess, and made up a nice display board for that. So he won the Craftsman Award for 2018.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm going for that one next year.
Are you?
I want to.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
We'll see. You can talk about the next one.
The next one, because you don't want to.
So we
the funny thing is the admin's up there, and they're giving out these awards, okay? So the first one's Craftsman.
Derek's an admin, so.
Derek's an admin. Derek wins.
Yeah.
Okay? The second one goes to Sportsmanship. During the tournament, they had handed out little slips of paper for everybody to write down who you've played, who's here, who you think the best sportsman is, and another admin won. You.
I won.
So everyone was like, rigged, rigged.
So yeah, that was amazing because like including the TOs and everything that were there, and I don't know how many results they got in, but maybe upwards of 40. And we had all written down like who's your, you know, it wasn't just who was in the room, but over the course of the whole year, who do you give top vote to, second and third, and then, you know, top vote got 3 points, second got 2 points, third got 1 point. And I was shocked actually when I got it, and you know, it meant a lot to me. Honestly, I got my awards right there behind your head.
Yeah, mine's right here.
That's not yours.
I get a selfie with it, so it's mine.
Yeah. So yeah, it was that was really good for me. It was a surprise, and you know, that kind of award means a lot to me. I don't win a lot of tournaments. Well, I don't win any tournaments, but winning an award like that is
yeah, you deserve
top
it.
drawer. Top drawer. The last one was Ambassador. The admin, and on the advice of the people that we talked to there, this is kind of the award that's given to the member of the community that has done the most over the course of the year to grow the community and get involved in the community. You know, being a TO, hosting events,
promote the hobby,
all of that kind of stuff. And one of the top every year for it in our community is Adam Marcel.
Definitely.
Yeah. And
well deserved.
And he really deserved it. And it's the first time we've given the award away. So, you know, it was for 2018, but you can't deny everything that he's done for the local community for the last 4 years. Like, he's always going to bat.
Most definitely.
For the community. Not just for the OSBGL either, for everybody. Right, so.
It's the hobby in general.
So he got that award, and he's the first recipient of it. Yes. So then we had the first, second, and thirds.
Yeah. So Drew ended up winning again.
I don't sound too excited about it. Yeah, Andrew Brock came in first place.
The last tournament I played against him, I beat him in the game, so I can say that I've actually won against him.
Yeah, didn't count.
Most of the time, yeah, because it wasn't in the league event, whatever. I still won, and he knows it. I'll never let him live it down.
Yeah, so Andrew Brock managed, even though he wasn't able to attend, he managed to hang on to his first place.
It's like, hang in there, that little kitty.
It's like, yeah, Ronan couldn't quite get his fingers off the ledge. Yeah. But Ronan did manage to grab second place.
Squeaked it out.
He did.
Just past his dad.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like point something?
It was. Difference? I thought it was, but no. I think it was by a couple of points.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think I looked in. It was like 4 point difference.
Yeah, something like that. It was
close.
It was very close. But yeah, so it was Andrew Brock, Ronan Satnick in second, Derek Satnick in third, and if I can find the standings, I'll post it up. You and I were just hanging into the top 10 this year. Not. I
wasn't going.
We usually have finished better. Like
I was 11th before the GT.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
So you bumped yourself up a little bit.
I got squeaked my way.
Yeah.
Back
So you finished 10th.
I was like, I got inside the door before it closed.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was 8th. And I know Sean Trumbull was between us, and I don't remember who all the Joseph Hanlon was in there.
Ben had to be up there.
Steve Stokes was in there, and he made an impressive run in the last part of the season.
He did,
doing quite well. I think we'll see him in the top group next year.
I was surprised at my finish, considering I was like every event until TGX, and then bam, I missed everything except for the one that we ran, like Canadian Shire, and then the GT. So I was there for the first half of the year, and then I just didn't show up for the second.
Well, you're getting points for being a TO, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That probably didn't count for one of your top 4 results, but you do get points for being a TO.
Yeah. So.
You get, in our league, you get, if you run a tournament as a TO, you get the average point that was given out at that tournament for a
Give you at least something.
Yeah. So.
Perfect.
So there you go. That was it.
It's not my highest finishing. Like, I think the first year we did it, I was second.
Yeah.
It was right behind Drew.
I'm usually in around 5th-ish. Somewhere in around there. Because we go to a lot of tournaments, but like I don't win any.
Yeah.
So we just like I always do. I'm doing great. Look at me. I'm in first place. Like for the first 6 months, because I go to all the events, and then as it goes on, I like doop doop doop. Yeah. I drop.
Well, it just gives us a position that we'll have to come back at next year.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I mean, not like there's a lot of people that are in our league that don't follow the league standings.
Yeah, they just want to go and play.
But you know, I'd say there's probably 20 people at least that are quite interested in it and go for it. And even the ones that are lower down, you know, it's a good measure of not only how you're doing, but like how many tournaments you're going to and all of that. So it's a good matrix we have there. Totally
good year.
It was, yeah.
I liked it.
It was.
I really would like. When I miss an event, it's tough. Like I'd really prefer to go to them, but
well, I mean, you have a job where it can be kind of merciless on that.
Yeah.
It's just because you're on call a lot on the weekends.
And then we did go to Nova, and that was like September was a complete write-off for me.
Yeah.
But then August was kind of as well because I had to save up my taking time off. So.
Yeah.
But.
And I missed 2 events this year, which is the most I've ever missed.
Yeah, you were like...
In the first 3 seasons, I only missed 1 tournament, and this year I missed 2.
It wasn't the tournament we couldn't go to because it was full up before we signed up. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so I gotta improve my attendance for next year. Missing 2, it's ridiculous. I can't deal with it.
No.
Okay, so Flotsam and Jetsam, what are we talking about today?
The thing we've been dealing with for the last year.
That's right, Battle Company.
Has it been a year? It must have been.
It's over a year now.
Actually, I was thinking about that today. Our first league event for the 2018 season was February last year.
And it was Battle Company.
It was a Battle Company tournament.
Ran by Adam Marcel.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a fun one.
And that was a different kind of a tournament, and it was really enjoyable, actually.
It was, actually. Yeah. I really enjoyed something like that.
Yeah. So we're going to do a review of Battle Companies. Why are we doing a review now? Well, because it's been out for a year, and we've played it to death. 16 missions. Yeah. We've played the campaign. What's the name of that again? Search for the Stone.
How can you forget? We've been doing nothing but that all year.
Come on, give me a break. It's numbers.
Cool.
Not only that, but we've played Battle Companies on the side as well, as in the tournaments and stuff. So good time to do a review of that book right now. And I think it's fair to say that we both love Battle Companies. I know I love it. It's my favorite part of SBG, definitely. I like Battle Companies more than tournaments and all of that. Just because I like the role-playing, sort of. It's not a role-playing game, but it's taking a miniature game and just like nudging it a little, bit closer to role-playing, and gives out experience and all of that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to play it all year round you, but we obviously did it all last year. Yeah. I don't hate it, but it's not my go-to version of it. So I still prefer playing the main game, but it's something that I enjoy. Well,
like you and I are both, we cut our teeth kind of on match play, like not only in this game, but in other GW products. So we're used to match play, army construction and all of that kind of stuff. But just from a pure hobby side of things, Battle Company hits me where I live for sure.
Yeah. No, it's definitely fun. It's good to show up and only have to throw down like less than 10 models.
Yeah. It's a really good way to get people into the game. I mean, I got you into the game by playing Battle Companies.
We did.
Yeah.
That was where it started all those years ago.
Thanks to James and Jamie.
Yep.
They ran the battle companies on GBHL
They did.
years ago. Yeah, got into it. So anyway, what do you think of it? Battle companies, narrative campaign, search for the stone, and very similar to the one that's in the book. I forget the name of the one that's in the book, but it's for good. Search for the stone is for evil. It was in White Dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you find that went?
I liked it. I liked that you could do. There was a set. Was there 6 actual?
5.
Was there 5 narrative missions?
Yeah.
And then we had to fill in the rest with
Yeah.
ones that we came up with. I like that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good change from the regular missions that you play out of the back of the book all the time.
Yeah.
The ones that the narrative ones, some of them were similar, but they had like different spins on them and had specific models and in them and everything.
Bring this and that's.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. So did I.
I liked playing the different missions. Some of them we did tweak though.
Yeah.
Because our warband was just like ridiculous.
So that moves me on to the next point, and that was they recommend in the rulebook and also in this White Dwarf narrative scenario that you play between 1 and 3 games between the narratives.
Yeah.
No. We went with 3.
Yeah.
For the most part, so we would play narrative, play 3 games, and then another. Way too many games.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, there was, if playing the 3 games, the only one you really cared about was the 3rd one, because it's like, okay, don't have a whole bunch of guys miss the next game, because then they're going to actually miss the narrative one, and the narrative stuff was, like, a lot of time it had the better rewards that you wanted your guys to get.
Yeah.
That was the only thing.
You want to win the narrative games because the rewards that you get from them are unique for the most part. Some of them weren't over the top, but they were different.
The last one that we just got was pretty crazy.
Like we got a couple of like unusual models given to our warband. They
didn't last.
But it was fun. Like it was a different kind of a thing, and it was fun. But I think the biggest problem with it is that your warband just accelerates and gets too good for the narrative missions. And the narrative missions, they don't have any kind of a scaling mechanism to adjust the difficulty up or down based on the relative strength of the warband that's playing the mission. So like that, in future publications, the writers should look at that and
definitely
and give a point range. If the warband is between this point, then you play it with these models. If it's higher, then add this, and if it's lower, take away that.
Yeah, because we were playing it that we made some adjustments, but most of the time it was just the other warband got a crazy amount of rerolls.
Yeah, and like it didn't take long before our warband was like way over what it should have been.
I think because our big hitters didn't miss games, or there was a brief moment in the middle of the campaign where Manhunter hurt his arm and then missed a couple games, if I remember correctly, and because of that, those missions were a little more difficult for us. But when he got his arm back and his full shooting potential, it was just crazy.
And that was one of the other effects that I found is that the heroes in the new game, like, because stuff can still die. Yeah. But it's far more likely you're just gonna get an injury if you get knocked out. But they've really reduced the chances of dying. Yeah. Of having a model just outright die. So what ends up happening is you don't lose a lot of models unless you're really unlucky, and you tend to like steamroll. Like that's what our warband did, was that we started getting this steamroll thing, and because they have the rule in there where warriors can only get 1 XP for kills, well, and you can assign your wounds to whoever was in the combat.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't actually have to do the wounds. Like the heroes were just accelerating like fast. Like in the second half of our games, almost every game we were having like maybe 2 heroes get 5 XP in 1 game. Yeah. And like so they would get an upgrade every game.
Well, they'd get their 3 kills, which they need, and then we'd win the scenario with them, and they'd get a participation award.
Yeah. So it was like at a certain point, your warband gets so good that you're getting an upgrade every game.
Mm-hmm. And even like our heroes, Manhunter was just absolutely ridiculous.
It was.
Like he was getting 5 points a game.
Oh, easily. Like I think in the last game he got 7 XP.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, just from kills.
And because in the end he could like walk with his crossbow, fire with no penalty.
Yeah, twice.
Have heroic accuracy on himself and cast heroic accuracy or call heroic accuracy or heroic shoot. A free point of might used in shoot. I mean, it's just crazy. He has like so many rules. It was.
And oh, by the way, if you got into combat with him, he had taste man flesh.
Yeah.
So that he'd get better to wound.
Yeah. And our leader striker by the end is like far better than any Urukai hero in the book.
Yeah.
Far better.
Like Lurtz. Lurtz would have died to this guy countless times.
Well, and he's a far better army leader too because he has inspiring presence.
I'd like to put him up against Aragorn and see how he does.
Oh, let's not get carried away.
Well, he's striker, man.
Yeah. Just changing gears a little bit too. So we talked about the warriors; they're only getting 1 experience, and like one of the things that like I was not keen on when I read through the book on the first read was that they decided to, because there was a fan-based version out before with a lot of invented profiles and stuff in it. And they decided, I guess, right off the hop that they were going to restrict it to the models that were available in the range.
Yep.
Right, and that's fine. The problem is that it ended up that there's a fair number of warbands that don't have, or that have warriors that start out as basically elites, and so therefore there's no advancement available to them.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a disappointment because like the game is about the heroes and advancing your heroes and getting abilities and stat upgrades. But it's also fun to keep track of your warriors and see them advance and stuff. So, like if you're playing Iron Hills, for example, right? Your guys, well, there's no advancement available. It's just if you roll a 6, you can become a hero. That's it. So it's like, it's kind of like limiting based on the model range, and it is what it is. But it's kind of too bad. It would be better if everybody had some kind of advancement they could do.
Yeah.
And the promotion thing I noticed on the Warriors too. We saw it happen a bunch of times, like with Lefty.
He waited until the very end.
Yeah, like it took forever for him.
He's been with the warband from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
He participated pretty much. Well, I'd say probably. We could go back and look, but it's
I'm sure he missed a game or two for sure.
Yeah, but he was at least like out of the games, he was probably there 75 or more % of the time.
Yeah, he was.
And it took him the entire adventure to get promoted. Like I think he had 3 roles that he had to do, and he finally got promoted.
So he was trying to promote just from a scout to a warrior with a crossbow, and it took forever.
Yeah.
For him to promote. And it was because it's 50-50. Every roll it's 50-50, and so you just not rolling the 4+. And so he finally got it
promoted. Yeah.
And then on the very last game, he rolled the 6.
And a hero in the making.
And got hero in the making. So he finally joined the rest of the starting guys as a hero. So maybe consider like after you fail your first promotion roll, maybe after that you make it a 3+.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Because
you're still slaving away to try to get 5 XP, and it's hard with warriors if you're only getting 1 XP for a kill every game.
And then you're winning or participating? No, participating.
And participating, but you don't get it for winning. So the most you can get is 2 per game. So I would consider increasing the chances of promotion after the first failure, and I would also consider giving them maybe 2 XP for kills per game. So at least that way, after 2 games, they would have a chance at rolling for a promotion.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I think at the tournament that we ran, they upped the warrior cap to 3 per game.
They did.
Because we were running on such, like it was 7 games throughout the day.
Yeah.
But it was like if you did one experience, your warriors might promote once, but we wanted to see guys actually get promoted and maybe get a hero role and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I like the idea of allowing more victory points, because then it takes, like, our heroes in the end were so powerful that it was like, oh man, I hope they don't miss a game.
They were too powerful.
Yeah.
Too powerful.
It was like, oh, Manhunter's there. Okay, he fires and kills a bunch of guys and gets all these points. And like Nomad or somebody runs
and it would be the same if you had like a Rohan and you had like this ridiculous hero on a mount, right?
Yeah,
charging
it's got like a throwing spear
stuff.
and a hunting dog with him to help get the extra attacks to win the combat.
And like I think part of a symptom of that is that because the warriors aren't sucking up a lot of the available XP on the table, it's all going to the heroes.
Yeah, the spread between heroes and warriors like gets exponential as they get more rules, because then they become better killers.
And it ends up that the warriors are just pylons in your army, basically.
Yeah. Well, I guess. But you're naming them, so.
It's fun. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love the whole system. I love the battle companies and everything about it. But you know, even good things like can be improved and made better. And
oh no, for sure.
Yeah. So that's one.
That's
thing.
The warriors. I guess maybe their thinking was they're just really there as like the guys in the warband in the actual like match play games and stuff like that. Yeah, I'd like to see some more customization with the warriors.
Yeah, definitely.
You're limiting their war gear options as well, based on what their profile can take. I think heroes are the same way.
Yeah, heroes have access to any war gear that's available
to the warband. To
anybody in the warband.
So that just compounds onto the more elite warbands having less options available. Like I think Iron Hills can get like a crossbow and a goat. Maybe a spear.
Well, you can take a shield and a two-handed mattock as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. But they have like less than 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Where Minas Tirith is like all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd like, again, it's back to that role playing aspect. I prefer to see more customization options.
Yeah.
Because I want to name my guy, and I want him to be, hey, that's Joe, the guy that fights with like a two-handed club.
Yeah.
Or such and such. It's like back to the other game, like, I can't remember the name of it right now.
Okay.
It's the fantasy, it's not Kill Team. Mordheim.
Oh, Mordheim, yeah.
Mordheim. Like, that game was... where you get like your guys get experience and level up, and you can like gear them up with different stuff. And I like that kind of thing.
Yeah. So getting back to the heroes. The special rules. So the way the special rule part of the heroes, it needs a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't like the randomness of it.
First of all, let's talk about the point value. So like any special rule, regardless of what it is 10 points. And it doesn't work. Like, you need a bit wider of a spread. Like, even if they wanted to keep it fairly simple, you could go 5, 10, 15.
Yeah.
But, like, there's no way all of those rules are worth 10, because they're not the same. Some are amazing, and some are not very good, right?
Like, for us, Taste Manflesh?
Yeah. Like, Taste Manflesh is +1 to wound men. So +1 to wound in the game now is amazing.
Yes.
But in probably half or 2/3 of the games, we weren't fighting men, so it's actually just a 10-point anchor.
I know. Every game it was like, ooh, we're fighting men this time. Excellent.
Yeah. So you fight men, and it's definitely worth the 10 points. But if you don't fight men, it's worth 0.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the guy's getting like an extra warrior or a reroll almost, because you have Taste Manflesh, which doesn't do anything.
And we didn't just have it on one guy.
No.
I think 4 or 5 of our warband had it.
Yeah, well, because like the more you roll, the more you're gonna get it because it's on more than one
like,
chart.
Oh man, we got to taste man fudge on this guy. It's like, well, it's one thing where if we roll it next time, we can pick.
And like some of them, like right off the bat, like for our leader, we were aiming for inspiring presence because you count as a banner. It's an amazing ability, and it's like worth more than 10 by far.
Definitely.
Right. And any of the special rules that allow or give either free heroics or free might are worth more than 10.
Especially the named heroics.
Yeah.
Like, this only really affected the last couple games, but there was a rules change for the whole game before we finished. Mm-hmm. And it was like, well, who has access to striking and like, if we were to go back and play the scenarios over again, it would not end the same way.
Well, that's a gap in the rules that's been created by a new edition coming out, and it needs to be addressed. And how do you introduce heroics now to heroes in the game? Because right now, well, like you can get some, but they come with special rules, but you can't get all of them. Like you can't get strike.
No.
But you can get like heroic accuracy, and you can get heroic combat.
Well, that's a base one that everybody has. Combat.
Combat? Yeah.
Combat.
You can get it for free with one of the special rules.
A heroic combat, heroic shoot, and heroic move.
Right.
Are all the basic ones that any hero can do. So they have those, but yeah, like heroic shoot is I think the only one out of all the special rules that
you can get it in a special rule. Because you can call it heroic shoot or heroic accuracy.
That's what I mean. Like that's the only one that you can get like a different heroic than it's the basic ones. But yeah, like that can all be like a PDF that's
and
like an FAQ could fix all that.
On the flip side of that, there are some of the special rules that aren't worth 10.
No.
Just because they're they don't do a lot, but we won't go into those. But there's plenty in there that would be worth 5.
Yep.
Not only that. But, and we saw this happen most notably with Striker and Manhunter. Like in the game, if you look at all the top heroes in the game, I don't think any of them have more than 5 special rules. Like you might have 1 or 2.
Profiles and
stuff? Like your Aragorns or Azogs or all your top hitters.
5 is crazy.
It is.
I don't even think there's any. Well, there's might be some with 5, but most of them are 3.
Yeah, but in battle companies, you can easily get over 5, and it makes your guy broken. It makes him too expensive.
Yeah.
And it makes him too good. Like Manhunter and that we came up with is just way too good. And he's very expensive, but he's too good. Like in relativity towards the other models on the board, he's so much better that it's too much. Too much. For a game where you're supposed to only have like 15 guys max per side as your base.
Yeah.
So they should put a cap on the number of special rules any hero can get. Is like, basically what we're saying.
For everybody to know, I think he was worth like 130 points. Like in point value wise at the end of it. And it was like if that guy missed a game, that's 10 rerolls that the opponent doesn't get. 10 rerolls for one guy.
Yeah, so to me, it's like you limit heroes to getting 5 special rules. Yeah,
and then if you get a new one, you can pitch an old one or keep that.
Yeah,
one.
it's gonna change the way that you give out promotions in the game, but I think
we've talked about a way that it'd improve.
So yeah, you'd have to look at a different way of giving out promotions than what we do right now. And I've thought about this a lot where I've designed another like house campaign for us to play in. And we're still using the battle company rules, but there's going to be a lot of customization and adjustment to it. And the way that like I'm going to be doing it going forward is that every special rule has a prerequisite.
Okay.
And most of the prerequisites are XP. So like you need at least 20 XP to choose this. And the player can choose whatever stat upgrade or special rule you want. But everything has a prerequisite attached to it.
That's good.
So like some are, there's no prerequisites, you can take these. right?
Yeah, because you
And
got
some are you need 20 XP and you must have like +1 courage already in order to take this. Like, so that's a way of allowing the player to make the changes to their character that they want, but still limit what they have available.
It's kind of like the old talent system in World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
You have to be like every level you get a talent point, and to get to the next talent underneath some, you'd have to fill out that talent pool first.
Yeah.
And then other ones you have to be like a certain level to take it.
Right on.
So it's kind of like that, right? Like you gotta have a certain amount of experience before you can take. So like your guy shouldn't be able to be like a master parry guy right off the bat. Like he should have to take something to be able to learn how to parry better. Like maybe he has to have a better fight value by 1 point.
Right.
Because fight value goes up
something,
by 1, and then all of a sudden now he has access to not heroic parry, but he could parry, or he could do combat expert, which is like the reroll one of his dice in, or whatever that rule was.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that kind of stuff is.
No, yeah, that's good.
It adds to the RPG side of it.
So there's a whole bunch of special rules in the game that are really good.
Okay.
And they would be, in our opinion, heroic presence.
Yep.
Inspiring presence. Maybe we should say what they do.
So heroic presence is you may call a free heroic combat each turn without expending might.
Yeah. So it's a free might basically.
Yeah.
Inspiring presence is you count as a banner.
Which is
fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Master of battle. Whenever an enemy hero calls a heroic action within 6 inches of this hero may call the same without spending might.
Yeah.
And that, on top of getting it for free, is really good because in the rule or in the game now, some heroes don't have access to all the heroic powers. Yeah. Namely, Iron Hill's captains, which have that rule.
Yeah. So it allows you to do
like,
stuff.
Oh, you're going to heroic strike. Well, I'm going to roll a dice, and I got a 5 now. I can heroic strike. Well, normally I can't do that, right? It's really another layer. I don't know if that's like something they missed.
Well, it's just because they haven't dealt with the heroic side of things yet.
Yeah.
But
so
like another one is Master Archer. So the hero may call either a heroic shoot or heroic accuracy each turn without expending might. Again, free might.
Yeah.
Or free heroic.
Yep. Lethal aim may get a free point of might to use in the shooting phase. So it's either the to hit roll, the to wound, or an in the way.
Yeah, and like our Manhunter had both of those.
Yes.
And expert shot. So it's just like ridiculous with a crossbow.
Yeah, with a crossbow.
He never gets a -1 and can move.
Well, it was right near the end that happened.
But still, it's crazy. And legendary hero, which is for good only. Each time the hero spends a point of might, roll a d6 on a 4+, the might point is free. So the point of listing all of these is that these are all like top rung special rules.
Yeah.
And so
not worth 10 points.
They're more than 10 points.
Yeah.
Right? There should be a high prerequisite before you're allowed to take them. Like Manhunter or a Striker got like Inspiring Presence like almost right at the beginning of the campaign.
That was the first thing we aimed to get him.
Yeah, and he got it like on his second upgrade or something.
Yeah, we got Taste Manflesh, and then the second.
And not only that, but like in the game that like we're going to be running.
Yeah.
I'm only going to allow a hero to get 1 of those.
That's good.
Yeah, you can't get more than 1 of those because they're all great.
Well, they're all like basically free might points.
Yeah, so just some thoughts on a different way to approach it. Just to finish off a couple of things. This one here, right now, like wounding and injuries and like, arm wound, leg wound.
How long was it? It's not gut rot. No, Galag. Galag had a leg and an arm wound for probably the last 6 missions.
And you just can't shake it.
No, because the guy got a second wound because he got an upgrade, and he never died.
Yeah.
And the only way for guys to actually heal is for them to get knocked out. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Like, how does your guy get better when he gets knocked out?
You have to knock a guy out and then roll a full recovery on your recovery roll, and then you can heal one of
those things. Yeah.
But what if you don't ever get knocked out?
Exactly.
Like, there's no way to heal it. So there needs to be, the point is, there needs to be another way to heal an injury aside from that.
Being knocked out.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you do something where if they get a roll, like, you know, for a promotion.
Yeah.
Not a promotion, but like they get a 5 experience, so they can make a roll on one of the charts.
Yeah.
Maybe at that point, hey, you can heal a wound, and you get a roll on the chart.
That would work, yeah.
Granted, it's only going to be for heroes that works for, but...
Well, the warriors don't get arm wounds and leg wounds and stuff. They just miss a battle. They just miss if they're injured. We missed these two here. So one of the things we definitely noticed in the campaign too was that there was not enough influence, even though our record was incredibly good.
Yeah.
In like our win, I mean like our win-loss ratio was.
We didn't lose a lot.
We were good, but there wasn't enough influence in the game to actually buy equipment. And equipment is like such a huge part of battle companies because it's a major part of like the role playing element. Yeah. To give your guys cool stuff.
There's cool stuff in there, but we just didn't have the influence. Well, we
and the thing is that like most battle company campaigns or games that people play, they don't really go beyond 6 games. No. Like you get a bunch of friends together and you play a bunch of games. After you play 6 games,
someone's the clear winner.
Yeah, and it doesn't really last, like unless you have like a dedicated thing like what we just went through. And we were always trying to get our warband to the max size, to 15 guys. So you're always spending your influence on reinforcement rolls. Yeah. Okay. So what I would suggest is they make a new way to get a few more points of influence, but that they can only be spent on equipment.
No. So like if you win, you get, this is your experience, or sorry, influence. So you got 4 influence for the game, but you also got 2 influence, but those 2, maybe instead of influence you call gold. Yeah.
Well, they've tried to, like in the previous it was gold and now it's influence, but it's kind of a combination of like attracting new bodies to your team as well as gold to buy like new armor and shields and stuff for your guys, or
maybe you need to have 2 different types of currency.
Maybe that would help. But anyway, in general, needs more influence. In the game. And another thing, needs more equipment. There's a fair bit of equipment in there. You know, some of it is good only and evil only. But I would like to see more equipment in the game because, like, after you've read through it all and you've played a bunch of times, there really isn't a lot. Like, if they doubled the amount of equipment, it wouldn't be too much. No. Right? And, you know, I've thought about it a lot, and it's hard to think up stuff that would be appropriate and not be just adding something for the sake of adding it. So, like, I think a fair bit of thought needs to go into that to try to come up with some more equipment. But, you know, that's a big part of the game, is being able to get the influence to spend on equipment and get different, weird, new things for your guys that you can model onto them, or... Yeah. You know, and getting like a warg or like a war dog or whatever is cool. That kind of stuff. Or, you know, for the most part, like what we were taking was poison blade and poison arrow.
I think we were really trying to maximize the damage output. Yeah. Like there's some things that like manacles are like, it's like, oh, I went against that hero. Well, I'm just gonna have manacles on him.
Yeah, it's.
And he's like that kind of thing we did.
Maybe a little too good.
Yeah, or the burning brand that like sets someone ablaze. Yeah. And it's like, oh. Yeah.
So I've put together a list of like things that have come out in White Dwarf.
Okay.
Maybe I'll try to scroll this on the screen.
Yeah.
But there's been, how many do we have? November 2017, January 2018, February 2018, April, June, August, all had stuff for Battle Companies. Since then, haven't seen anything.
Well, August was right after the new
rules
changeover.
When the new rules came out, they stopped with the Battle Company stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully, after, soon, hopefully they'll start putting some more Battle Company stuff in.
Yeah.
But they've had enough, and I don't know how they do this now in the current day in their other game systems, but what is that? 3, 4, 5, there's 6 issues of White Dwarf that had content. And usually it's like 1 or 2 new warbands and a new scenario, let's say.
For Battle Companies.
For Battle Companies, yeah. So there's a lot of material there. And in the old days, what they would do is they would put out a White Dwarf compilation. So it was like a separate publication. And they would include all of that content in another book, which is like an expansion to the game.
Sure.
So I don't know if they still do that in their other games.
I don't... Well, Chapter Approved was kind of that for 40K, and General's Handbook is... Well, those are more like a rules compilation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's still possible, but, like, I don't know.
They're at the point, though, where...
I want to see this game, like,
Yeah.
the Battle Companies continue.
I don't want just to see it forgotten about now. Like, the White Dwarf stuff has stopped happening. It's past a year now. It's like, okay, well, let's not abandon it. Let's, they either need to start thinking about a second edition of the game, and it's probably too early for that. It's only just over a year.
Yeah.
Or let's do a compilation, because, a few more things and you got enough there for like another book. Throw out another campaign or whatever, and you could easily put out another publication.
No, it's definitely something I'm looking forward to, so hopefully they do come out with it. But
yeah, so that's our thoughts, I think, on Battle Companies and recommendations on it.
I enjoy it.
We recently had a question from somebody in our group, from Chris, who runs the Games Club with me in Newmarket.
Yeah.
Is it still worth buying? What do you think?
It's a great way to get started in the game.
Yeah.
I'd almost go out and say, if you're trying to get somebody to start in the game, it's probably the best bet.
Yeah.
Start with Battle Companies, because you don't need to buy.
It's a low requirement on models.
Yeah, like they have, you can buy the whatever warband for Battle Companies on their website.
Yeah.
So it's a really good way to get people started in the game. There's not like that huge investment that people are worried about. Like I'm like, I don't want to spend that money if I don't know if I'm going to like the game. And you only have like 5 to 10 models starting off.
To start, yeah.
And it's a great way to learn the basics.
It is.
You learn the move, you learn the shoot, you learn the fight.
The only risk of it really is buying the book and then, a few months later they come out with a new edition.
I've had it happen so much.
I know.
With
over the years.
Games Workshop games that it's not even, like, it doesn't faze me anymore.
Yeah.
I just buy the book and hope that it lasts a long time.
Yeah.
Like, There and Back Again, we got, I think it was, well, when did we get it? It must have been...
Feels like 2 years.
It was that same GT that I talked to you about at the Legion Hall that Michael ran, because he had it there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I remember everybody was looking at it. That was it, There and Back Again, which is a compilation of all the Hobbit movie stuff.
Yeah.
Put into one book. So however old that is, well, they just did...
That would have been the end of 2016.
Okay. So 2017 and then to the end of 2018. So that book only lasted us a year and, 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's not that expensive.
No.
There's nothing saying you have to change the new rules. Like, if you wanted to play that with the old rules, because that's what you had and you didn't want to move to the new rules, you could still do that. Like, it's still compatible.
Yep.
If it was me, I'd probably go and buy it. Well, I would, because I want to play it. But I don't know. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, at this point, because I don't think they would consider putting out a new edition a year after the first one came out. I think they're going to wait at least until the end of this year. So I would think it's still worth buying.
I don't even think they're going to come out with a new, like, they'll just come out with a supplement for it.
I think so too.
So if it's a supplement, then you definitely need the first one because it's supplementing the first one.
Yeah, I think, you know, a couple more White Dwarfs come out with some more content in, and then they release another supplement with yet more stuff in it, and you got another book on your hands right there. You know, so that's it. All right.
To end it, like I really like it. I'd really like to see another event run with it. It took all day.
It did.
But Adam did it in such a way that
it worked.
And the games don't take 2 hours.
No.
Like you can play a game in 45 minutes.
Easily.
An hour at the most.
Yeah.
So like where you're giving 8 hours for 4 games, you could.
Yeah, like my Warband, like I played War Garage, I had like 5 models.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it was like, doesn't take any
I
time to play.
played Blazing Madness, starting the way we started it. Didn't go anywhere near the way it went for us in the battle companies, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
Like.
And it is different playing in a tournament where you're playing against another guy who's playing like just as hard to win as you are, whereas the narrative campaigns I think are a little easier, like the narrative missions. So yeah, the tournament was definitely a little tougher.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see another event. I know the league doesn't have room for one this year, but like there's nothing saying somebody couldn't organize something and run it. Like,
absolutely.
I know maybe like an event gets bumped into a second day. Maybe the second day battle companies happens.
Speaking of other events, we didn't talk about what was coming up, so we should probably end by just talking a little bit about
we skipped over
the events that are coming up in the OSBGL season.
Yep, so it is now February the 2nd today. Tomorrow, it's not a league event, but Hooded Goblins having another event that I'm going to. I think Drew said he was going to go to it as well, so
I won't be able to make it, unfortunately.
Drew and I will be there. After that is the end of the month, which I believe is February 23rd. That is Fly You Fools.
Fly to Peterborough, you fools.
Oh, Fly to Peterborough, you fools. Because it's in Peterborough, and it's run by Chris and Travis.
Yes.
And
they always put on a fun event every year.
It is. They are, I think it's like 700 points of bring whatever. There's no, other than like the normal army composition rules.
Yep.
It's not followed closely by, I think it's 2 weeks, or a week actually. It's like the following week. It must be.
I think it's 2 weeks. It's in March anyways.
No, it'd have to be the following weekend because February 23rd.
Oh, February.
Would be, it's March 2nd or 3rd. It must be March 3rd because the Hood Goblin's doing it in conjunction with Lewis. And I forget what his tournament's called. The Battle for Middle-Earth or something.
Right.
And it's 650 points.
Sounds right.
Bring whatever the heck you want.
And you can mix good and evil.
Yeah.
And you get like more raffle tickets if you...
Yeah,
if you have like
it sounds
5
like a very fun
factions,
event.
and it's a lot of crazy.
Stuff. It's not a matched play event. It's an open play.
Yeah.
And open play is bring whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be different for sure.
Well, like people have already been talking. I'm going to bring a fire-breathing dragon with Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, it's like what?
Because there's no minimum model count.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like bring the wackiest thing you can think of. So I've been like, what can I bring that's broken? And everything always leads to Tom Bombadil.
I know.
Because he can't kill him.
Yeah.
And he like gives guys might and wounds and stuff back. So
you can't beat him in a duel either, right? He wins.
No, he's just like a. Yeah, you don't do anything to him.
Yeah.
So.
And then towards the end of March, I forget exactly the date. It's
Hot Lead.
The OHA is putting on their event. Is it the War of the Ring?
Sorry, it's at Hot Lead, the convention.
It's in Stratford,
but I believe
Ontario.
it's called the War of the Ring.
Yeah.
I have to look it up.
And it'll be doubles this year.
Yes, 400 points a person, so 800 points a team.
Yeah.
We're going together as a team.
Yeah.
And we're planning to take Airborne Dale. Because that's what we said we would.
Yeah.
It might change depending.
We'll
on
see. We may have a last minute switch over to evil.
Evil teams.
Because like the trend in the game right now seems to be slanting towards good.
Yeah.
You're starting to see a lot more players play good. Because that's where all the love was.
Yeah, they gave all the love.
Yeah.
Well, it's also where all the new models are going too. Like a lot of the new models being like, how many Forge World things have come out, and it's been Minas Tirith and the 3 Hunters. Yeah. I think the only evil love that we've seen is those 2.
Well, there's 2 Orc captains, and there's 2 more Orc captains coming out, and then you had like the 9 Nazgul.
That was like
ages
April,
ago now.
Or that was the middle of last year. So, yeah, it's been very.
And the Goblin Mercenaries. Don't forget the Goblin Mercenaries.
Don't forget the things we thought were going to be the most broken thing in the game, and it's like no one even uses them. So, so that's that, and that's a 2-day event. It's the Friday night and Saturday.
Yeah.
And then they run like another thing on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Which is good.
So not part of the OSBGL schedule, sadly, but I mean it was a fantastic event last year, and those guys really run a really good time, really good event. So.
And it was more casual than what you're used to, because it's not you playing against your opponent trying to improve your record. It's you playing as a good or an evil player, trying to improve the record of
it's a team result.
Side.
Yeah, it's a team result.
I don't know if that's the way it is.
Yeah,
this
that
year.
last year it was. I don't know about this year.
This year I think it's the team of 2 people, and there's a bunch of cool, wacky rules that they're throwing in that we're going to design our army so we get lots of those free bonus points.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Well, that's the only way you win is by maximizing. But yeah, that's March, and then April is Council of the Wise. I think it's 4.0, which is run by Derek Satnick, and it's near the end of April.
Okay, we don't need to go through the whole season.
No, I was totally going to do it. But anyway, his is April, and it is a 2-day event. The first day is a 100-point tournament, like a major tournament, and then the Sunday he was going to do a smaller event. Which
doubles or battle companies or
maybe
something.
We should
put the pressure on them for the battle companies.
Yeah, we'll like force them into the corner. You're doing battle companies.
I'm just gonna bring battle companies. I don't care what you're running.
Well, that's the thing too. We could just bring battle companies and throw them on the table and run it in like a demo or show people. But yeah, so that's the first 4 months of the year.
All right. Okay. Any parting words, or is that it?
I gotta go home because I have to.
You gotta get your army ready for tomorrow.
I have to paint 12 guys to look like Kingsguard. No, I just have to like give them golden helmets or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just won't take that army.
Or just not paint them to look like Kingsguard and just have everybody's a Kingsguard.
But I have other guys.
Oh, you have regular Grimhammers?
So it'll be like, yeah, that guy's Kingsguard.
Alright, well we better wrap this up then if you got stuff to paint.
Rambling, yeah.
Yeah, because you're rambling again. I gotta control you.
Real mean.
Alright guys, well thanks for watching. I know this was a long one.
Or listening.
If you're, or listening if you're painting. Thanks for hanging in there, and we will see you in approximately a month or so. And don't forget to get your toy soldiers out and come and play some games with us at the OSBGL in Ontario, Canada.
Yep.
Thanks guys.
Thank you.